Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We are back for another edition of Swing for the Fences. I'm with my boy Title. I'm with my boy Gary to break down this 10 gamer with not too much weather to deal with, which is always a pleasant surprise. Title, talk about yesterday and what do you look forward to today? What's going on?
Yeah, what's up? What's up, Kurt? 10 games, pretty good. Seven games yesterday, 10 today. I always like the bigger slates. Feels like probably better pitching yesterday, at least for a smaller slate. There was a lot of options. Today, there's some options in each tier, but Strider up top, SP1, been the best all year. He's expensive, thankfully. Garrett Cole also on the slate, though. I think it'll be a popular pairing, but we also have Coors Field. Can pick on the A's again. Not a good starting pitcher. They're rolling out another bad bullpen. Mariners got to him yesterday. Like going right back there today. But yeah, fun little 10-game slate. Talking baseball in the summer always fun with you and Gary. So I'm excited.
Especially when it's about the only thing we're going to have once my Celtics get their ass kicked tonight. So we got to dig in. MLB.
You'll be in my boat with the Bucks sitting on the couch watching Jimmy own souls.
Oh, it's hurtful. The chat's popping today, right out the gate. Jake, Mama, Yeezy, what is up? Steve, he's got our hat on. And Jacob, what is up? Gary, anything you want to talk about yesterday and anything you're really looking forward to today?
So looking forward to jumping back in the slate tonight. I kind of whiffed yesterday. I didn't want to play the Mariners, and they kind of went ham. And I definitely did not play any Astros against Burns. So definitely looking forward to getting back on track here tonight. And I like this slate a lot tonight. So looking forward to it.
I like it. Well, before we jump right into it, guys, because we know that when I'm hosting, it's boom, 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 right to it. There's no bullshitting. But hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Come check out the playbooks. We break down all the players. We talk about the pitchers. We talk about the hitters. My boy Boynton was on it today. Always breaks it down good. And then we got Gary on it some days. I don't know who else, but hey,
Uncle T.
Oh, Uncle T. It's always very thorough. Breaks down everything. Gives out like five positions for the favorite hitters. Talks about the pitchers. Then we got the heat map. We got the core plays, which is like I think it's 6 players. Everyone's 6 players. We got like 6 different coordinators doing that. So come check us out. Subscribe. Use the promo code Title15, Gary15, Kurt15. But first, hit that like button for us. Free show. Help us out. Now, let's get into the pitchers. Let's get into it. We got some elite pitchers and not so great matchups. We got a couple guys that are due to bounce back, and then we got a couple young guns that are up and coming. It's a great balance. I feel like it's not an easy day, but I do like the kind of balance of stuff we have. So Gary, get us started here with the pitchers.
Yeah, so I mean, it starts up the top with Spencer Strider and Garrett Cole. Those two guys are looking to be probably the two chalkiest pitchers on the slate. And subpar matchups too for both of them. Even Cole against Baltimore. Baltimore's hitting the ball pretty good this season. And Strider, 12.3K. He's got a 40% strikeout rate, 20% swing and strike rate on the season. Just been phenomenal. Coming off 3 tough matchups, like Steve pointed out in the playbook. Another tough matchup here. I just don't know, for me personally tonight, if I'm willing to spend up on these two guys. I mean, Strider, he's basically got to get you 35 plus, I would think, which is definitely doable for Spencer Strider. But he hasn't looked great recently, coming off a stinker in Texas. 12.3, man, it's just going to be tough for me to click that. Maybe an MME, I would have some. I'm not going to do MME tonight though. So he's probably not going to be in consideration for me tonight, unfortunately. Could come back and bite me in the rear end, but I'll there's always DFS tomorrow. So same goes for Garrett Cole here too. Garrett Cole's strikeout numbers are down significantly from last year, probably about 10%. I think he had like a 36% strikeout rate last year. I'm seeing him about 27% this year. He's only got like an 11% swing and strike rate on the year. So his strikeouts are definitely down, but he's still Garrett Cole. He's 11-2 though. He's playing Baltimore. Traditionally, he normally pitches well against Baltimore, but against this current lineup and roster, he's only got a 22% strikeout rate. So something to consider there. I'm probably just in my 2 lineups that I'm playing tonight. I'm probably not going to have either Strider or Cole, but I I can't. It's more of a price thing, matchup thing, ownership thing. I like some cheaper pitchers on this slate.
Yeah, so
and going down here a little bit further, I've seen a little bit of talk about Sonny Gray in the chat today. Man, he's 10.6K. He's at home. Yeah, he normally does really well at home. But one thing about this lineup against this matchup here against San Francisco is Sonny Gray's got like a 12 or 13% strikeout rate against left-handed bats, a massive 28% strikeout rate against right-handed bats. San Francisco projected to have 5 or 6 lefties in the lineup. And 10.6K, I just have no interest here in Sonny Gray at that elevated tag. Going down the Darvish, I'm not really a Darvish guy at this price tag either. Washington can be a bit pesky. Yes, they don't hit a lot of bombs and all that. But I don't think I'm going to be in on Darvish here either. So, and then Gore, I'm not going to be there either. So my pitching pool is going to start at Eduardo Rodriguez at 8,800. I like him quite a bit here. Kansas City put out a pretty favorable lineup for him. I think they got 5 or 6 lefties in the lineup, and Erod's a lefty. That's never good for this Kansas City team tonight. I think Erod continues to impress this season. I think he puts on a good showing and gets us 20-plus DraftKings points today. And at 8,800, I'm in for that. So he is the only guy I like above 8K tonight.
So, Tito, even the chat, we got the guys calling for Erod, Bello, Perez. So everyone's talking about the cheap guys. Do you have any conviction on paying for these guys that are priced really, really strong and not great matchups up top?
Yeah, I think that'll be the popular route. I mean, Coors is a little underpriced. It usually is. There's always cheap bats in good spots. We got 10 games today, so I actually think people will go up top. And, yeah, there's multiple options down low. They definitely – the floor – you're going to need to get 20-plus from pitching today, regardless, I think, who you play. I think there is enough options for that. So I would make a rule to start Strider, Cole. I would say max 1. I think both are totally fine. I don't have a strong lean on either. I would take the $1,100 savings with Cole, but I think it will be a popular pairing, and there's enough other options on the slate where I don't think you need to play them together. So that's the first approach I would take. But, yeah, I mean, if you don't want to go Strider, Cole, Sonny Gray's fine. I agree with Gary, though. I would prefer you, Darvish. Washington, all these top matchups for these guys. Strider, Cole, I mean, Dodgers tough, Baltimore's tough. San Fran, I'm not too excited to pick on. Should have a lot of lefties in the lineup, like Gary said. But Washington, I'm not worried about at all. Darvish should go 100 pitches, 7 innings. He feels safe. I mean, probably ain't going to get you 12 strikeouts, 13 strikeouts like Cole, like Strider could. But I think you could pencil in 18 to 23, something like that. And I'll take that, I guess, at 10-5. So, yeah, I like Darvish as a pivot. Gore, yeah, probably no Mackenzie Gore. I don't mind it. It'll be low owned, but probably not for me. Erod, he's been good. I agree with Gary there. Gets Kansas City. The thing about this, I like looking at umpires a lot. Not a lot of, like, the pitcher umpires is for Darvish and Mackenzie Gore and then Strider. Other than that, neutral or hitter umpires. So, nothing stood out for the umpire data that pushed me one way or the other. As far as 8K and above, make a rule, Strider, Cole, max 1. I think probably 1 spend up, and then, yeah, 1 guy down low. I think there's enough options. That'd be my preferred route, going 1 up, 1 down. And I think that's kind of going to be different. I think most people, especially in cash games, are spending up for 2 pitchers.
All right, so before we kick back to Gary, Tyler, why don't you go ahead and just kind of give us your take on Perez versus Bello, where you're going there, or maybe someone else you like down here?
Yeah, no, I like Bello, 6.3K, good K prop, 5.5, about even money. I mean, he's someone, Steve wrote him up in the bottom of the playbook as well. He's someone that DC, Steve were very high on. He was very highly touted, making his big league start last year. Really didn't do too well, got sent back down to AAA, but looks like his stuff's coming back around. And 6'3", the Angels, the top half of the order, obviously, we're always worried about, but the bottom half, we're not. You came in highly touted with nasty stuff. The strikeouts have been there. He's thrown over 100 pitches, so he's strung out. Yeah, 6.3K. He's my favorite one down below. Yuri Perez, I get it. I'm never someone that loves throwing pitchers in Coors Field. But, yeah, I mean, he was one of the top prospects as well as K stuff. It's been above 30%. The strikeouts are definitely there. I'm going to lean with Coors Field. I'm going to lean with the Colorado team total, so I'm not touching them. So it's definitely Bello, my favorite down there. And that's probably the only one. Alex Cobb, 8-3, I don't mind. But, like, I don't think I want to play Marco Gonzalez. Some people might talk about him, try and pick on Oakland. Mike Myers, if we got a complete 4K punt for Kansas City, I don't think he's going to be he's not throwing 100 pitches by any means, but Gary could talk about him. He might throw like 70, Bobby Miller down there. So I don't know. I guess my question for Gary, can you fully punt anyone that pitcher and go like a Strider 4K guy and then still play any bats you want?
Oh, you're on mute.
I'm on rookie mistake.
We don't shame here. We don't shame here. This host don't shame.
Yeah, so I'm not in on this Myers kid. I can't do it. I love Bello here tonight, 6,300. Like Title said, we're only really worried about 2 bats, and that's Trout and Ohtani. I think he can get through those bats pretty good tonight. And I think he's going to give us 15 to 20 with upside of up to more DraftKings points. And for 6,300, I'll take that all day. But, yeah, no Myers, no Miller, no Gomber, no Medina. Not into any of those guys. Yuri Perez, the dude is one of the top pitching prospects in all of baseball. He's got elite stuff. I just worry a little bit here. He's got one of the lowest BABIPs on the slate, which is a slight indicator, which means that he's been getting really lucky. I know it's like 10 innings or it's a very small sample, 9 innings. I'm just not going to risk it here in Coors. I'd rather just go down to Bello. Or even up. There's two guys here I like in the $7,300 range. Kyle Bradish in New York against the Yankees. I like him here quite a bit. Last 2 starts against the Angels in Pittsburgh, 24, 23 DraftKings points. Went 6 innings, 94, 90, 89 pitches. I like him quite a bit here. And I also like good old Drew Smyly. At home against the Mets, just been really consistent this year, averaging 18 DraftKings points on the season. Gets a lot of ground balls. This Mets team has not been hitting at all recently. So I like Smyly here. And I think that's it. So down here below 8K, it's Smyly, Bradish, and Bello mainly for me. I get the Yuri Perez play. I mean, he's got elite strikeout stuff. He can go out and strike out 8+ Rockies here. We know the Rockies lineup is no world beater, so I definitely get it. I'm just personally not going to do it tonight.
What about Marco Gonzalez? Touch on him briefly, Gary. Any thoughts?
Man, I can't do it. I can't do it. I like Oakland quite a bit here as like a mini stack. Marco Gonzalez is a guy I can't ever get behind. You got Rooker that mashes lefties for Oakland. Ruiz has been getting on base a lot. I think they can give him some problems here, like everybody else does. So, I mean, he placed Detroit 2 starts ago and got 13 DraftKings points. I mean, I guess that's fine, but just not somebody I'm going to go to. Just rather go down to Bello.
It should be obvious, but just for the people who maybe just jumped in, let's say you're starting the lineup right now, Gary. Who are the 2 pitchers you're sliding in?
Erod and Bello, probably.
Nice. Title, same question.
One of Bello and then one of Strider, Cole, Darvish, probably. I would go hitters, and then if I had the money for Strider, I would play Strider. If I didn't have the money, I'd play Cole. If I didn't have the money for him, I'd play Darvish. If I didn't have the money for him, I guess I'd go Erod. So pretty much my favorite pitcher on the slate is Bello. Figure out your favorite stack, get a secondary stack, and you have pitchers at every range. You can fill it in last.
I like that. That's a good answer. All right, guys, we're going to go to the hitters. Hit the like button, please, for me. It's so simple. Just click it. It takes you half a second. Title, I'll stay with you. Baltimore, New York. What are we doing here? The Baltimore, everyone's favorite team, the Young Guns. How are they going to do here against Cole?
Yeah, it's pretty chilly in New York. I'm not picking on Garrett Cole, obviously. Can't allow some homers. I don't know. It's a 10-game slate. Coors Field's going to get most of the ownership. Outside of that, a couple spots. But there's enough. I don't think we need to go contrarian picking on one of the best pitchers and go that way on such a big slate. That'd be more of a smaller slate game theory-wise. So no Baltimore for me. And then Kyle Bradish. Gary had some interest in him. I don't know. This Yankees lineup, the bottom half sometimes is pretty tough. So probably a pass just fully for me to start it.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm assuming that you're not really on much here, if anything. Pass.
Yeah. Definitely a pass for me. Just I like both pitchers here. I guess you could, if you wanted to get cute, you could play Cedric Mullins one-off, but man, he's expensive. That's an expensive one-off. He does hit Cole pretty good. But other than that, I'm not on any bets here.
Yeah, and as always, like someone just said, Judge is on fire. I mean, no one's ever going to talk you off a Judge one-off, like ever.
Correct.
You know? So if you have enough and it's your last spot in the outfield and you have like that 6K number, whatever, yeah, no one's going to say no to that. I mean, so don't feel obligated to fade that. But next game, San Diego's going to Washington. Maybe some San Diego bats. I'm not seeing too much ownership on the San Diego bats, so maybe a little contrarian stack here. Title, anything?
No, I respect Mackenzie Gore enough. I actually would rather play Mackenzie Gore at probably like 5 to 10% ownership than play the Padres. So yeah, nothing for me in this game for bets.
Gary?
Same, pretty much. This is also a revenge game for Mackenzie Gore. They traded him. The Padres traded him away. On the national side, though, I don't hate a Candelario one-off here. He's been really hot as of late. He's 3,200 at third base. Cheap one-off against Darvish. I don't hate it. And like I said, he's a hot hitter right now, and I like targeting those guys.
The Candy Man.
All right, now I know we're gonna have some love here. At home, Gary, this is gonna be you. I'm gonna say with you, your Atlanta Braves. Are you prioritizing them tonight at all?
I do have interest. It is a rookie pitcher coming up again for the Dodgers. This guy is supposed to be better than last night's guy. He throws some serious cheese. He throws like 100 mile an hour, so it's a battle of the triple-digit pitchers here. Rookies can always get – you saw it last night. The Braves started out hot, and then they kind of died off, unfortunately. But I always have interest in the Braves. We got Harris out of the lineup, which is probably a much-deserved day off because his bat has been ice cold.
Yeah, much deserved on what side, I was going to say.
Yeah. Sam Hilliard is actually taking a spot in the 9-hole at 2,400. He's actually been really good for us this season. He's swinging a good bat, and he's good in the outfield. So I don't hate him down there in the 9-hole with Arcia. Rosario, he hit a bomb yesterday. He is the Dodger killer ever since NLCS last year before last. He just kills the Dodgers. So it's 2,300, another cheap bat that you can get in there. Ozzie, 4,600. Definitely prefer him against a lefty. But can't argue with what Ronald Acuna has been doing right now. I think he leads the league in first inning hits and doubles. I think he's got like 8 doubles in the first inning or something crazy. And Matt Olson just comes right behind him and drives him in, it seems like, every game, at least for the past week or so. So Matt Olson, Ronald Acuna, Sean Murphy, and then Eddie Rosario and Hilliard. Don't hate them, but I don't think it's going to be like a main lineup type play for me tonight.
So, Tyler, you mentioned you like having one of those really expensive pitchers up there. Are you going to have enough for some of these Braves guys, or you like some of the cheapies that Gary was mentioning on this Braves side?
Yeah, there's enough cheap pitchers on slate. Like, you can go Eride Bello like Gary likes, and you can 5-man stack this Braves team any way you want. So there's definitely ways you can get it. I think the Braves are low owned. A healthy team total as well. It's not the hottest, 70 degrees only in Atlanta. But, yeah, go back to Eddie Rosario. Definitely love that. Gary's Hilliard call, he's going to be so low owned. Also cheap. I'd fill out 2 outfielder spots. Ronald Acuna been playing amazing baseball. DC, everyone keeps talking about it. So fun to watch. He goes from first to third on a walk yesterday. He's so aggressive. He's got you at least some points. Feels like the past 3 weeks or a month. And I went 0 for 5 a couple weeks ago. But yeah, he's getting you something every time. A walk pretty much turns into a double with the stolen base. Gets points in bunches. So he would definitely be a part of my Brave stack. I do like other teams more on the slate. Again, 10 games. We still got a good amount of games to get to. But yeah, I think the Braves are pretty low owned because of their prices, and there's enough cheap pitching we like. But I think the Braves should definitely be in your pool today if you're playing 20 or something.
All right. So the next game is not Coors Field, but it's AP's proclaimed new Coors Field in Kansas City. We got Detroit versus KC. Title, are you buying this shit? Are you taking some of these bats in the new Coors Field?
Yeah, I like the Tigers bats. Guaranteed ninth inning at bat, 80 degrees in Kansas City, the best hitting weather. And this Mike Myers guy, I don't know how long he's going to be in the game. I don't think very long. And I'm not worried about KC's bullpen behind. And why I like these Tigers is there's a lot of cheap bats. The highest priced guy, 4.6K, Riley Green. Man, what? Vierling goes deep yesterday. We get Spencer Torkelson, G. Risen's guy right in the heart of the order. Uncle T in the 9-hole. Miguel Cabrera, G. Risen's guy. I mean, it's narrative street at RPS with these Tigers. I like these Tigers today. And you can go. I wouldn't go a Cole Strider. I think he'll be more popular, but like a Sonny Gray Strider, a Darvish Strider, or something like that. That's going to be a pretty low pairing. And these Tigers are cheap enough that you can 5-man stack and have a little money for a secondary stack after that. So yeah, give me the best hitting weather. I don't want to take the Royals against Erod. I wouldn't mind a couple, like a mini stack. If you aren't playing him, he's going to get some ownership, but I like the Tiger side.
All right, I like it. Gary, are you buying in?
I can't do it. I played the Tigers last night, and as soon as the lefty came in, all these guys got taken out of the game. It could happen again here tonight. They just super pinch hit risk with Matone, Badu, McKinstry. All those guys have some pretty good pinch hit risk here. I just like other offenses on this slate a little bit more. So I'm not going to be going back to the Tigers here. They bit me last night, so I'm going to stay away for a few days. And on the KC side, definitely no bats for me.
That is interesting. Look at the guys. Ask Gary in chat. Ask DC in chat. Badu, he got all 4 of his at bats. But if some of these guys are, I would definitely stack the guys that aren't pinch hit risk or see how many lefties they have in their bullpen. I didn't realize that. So a good point by Gary.
Yeah, it was supposed to be Lynch coming back off the IL or something today. So I don't know if I haven't seen anything if there's a plan on a lefty coming in to piggyback on him or not. But just something to consider.
Gary, let's say you had to play some of these Tigers. Who are some of the guys that aren't pinch hit risk that these people can play?
Torkelson, Vierling, all the righties basically. Baez,
Riley Green.
Riley Green's probably safe. He's a top prospect for them. So those guys, just staying away from more of the McKinstry and the Matone, specifically those two.
Cool. All right. Guys, hit the like button, please. Por favor. I need you. Don't get me yelled at. We got to hit a certain number of likes or I will get smacked. Mm-hmm. Let's go to Milwaukee. Title Town. We got these Houston bats that will be a good option today. We got a Milwaukee bullpen that is trash. Do you like these Houston Astros today, Title?
Oh, yeah. Colin Maria is also cheeks. Astros are starting to hit. Yeah, give me Astros. Guaranteed ninth inning at bat. Good hitters park. You get the bottom of the order with cheap guys if you need. And then you get the top. They're expensive. But, yeah, Alvarez, Altuve, Bregman, Tucker. Everyone. I absolutely love the Astros. One of my favorite stacks of the nights. I do not think Colin Maria is any good. As far as the Brewers, I don't mind some of these Brewers as well. I think it's an interesting game stack. A Rowdy, Willie Adames, Contreras to fill at the catcher position. Always love Tyrone Taylor at the bottom. I think it's an interesting game stack. I'm not sold on JP France, and I do not think Colin Maria is good. So Astros one of my favorite stacks. Brewers going to be low and for sure, and I think they're interesting as well.
Say they're in the lineup.
Who? Is it out yet? Did it come out a couple or when we're on the show? I didn't see it yet.
Yeah, it came out. Refresh it. I don't think he's in the lineup. Yeah.
Yeah, no, he's not in the lineup. We got – I don't mind Weimer down there. Yeah, Caratini. So William Contreras isn't even in the lineup either. I wish it was a little better lineup. Yeah, that probably lowers it to mini stacks. I don't mind Brian Anderson in the 5-hole at third base. Definitely like Adames, Rowdy. I wish William was in there or Tyrone too. So I don't know. I'm not going to say don't play the bottom of the order. They're all below 3K, the last 4 guys. If you're double spending – that pitcher, I think that's good. But, yeah, I prefer the Astro side.
Got our boy Joey working chat. What up, Joey? Gary, how you handling these Stros?
I mean, you got to love them. This is the perfect DFS formula here. You got a bad pitcher and a bad bullpen. You like to attack that every time. So, yeah, I wish Myers was in the lineup for Houston instead of this Julks kid. But, yeah, I still like this lineup top to bottom.
Julks went deep yesterday, didn't he?
Yeah, I think he did. But Myers is just an overall better hitter.
No Jose Abreu. I know you're going to say that.
Yeah, no Jose Abreu. Just keep him out of your pool. I just X him out. And, I mean, he's starting to hit singles here recently. So if you like singles, he has 2,900 though.
I'll take 4 singles. Sign me up for 4.
And we get a different catcher in there. Yarnier, Diaz, good catcher option, 2,500. And of course, you know, Yordan went crazy yet last night. So it's probably not going to happen tonight. Maybe it's Kyle Tucker's turn tonight to go deep twice. So definitely in on Houston. And this morning when I wrote my free article, I'm pretty sure I put Milwaukee in there. And then I looked into more of France's stuff. France this year has been very reverse splits. Like he's been really good against lefties and really bad against righties. And behind him, he's got an elite bullpen. Houston Astros have the best bullpen in baseball right now by every metric that I see. So I'm not going to be on the 5-man stack here of the Milwaukee Brewers. I'm probably just going to stay away for the most part. Owen Miller, though, from the right side, has been on fire for the Brewers. Don't hate him as a one-off. You can play him at second base, third base. He's 2,700. And he fits that righty mold. So I like Adames, Anderson, Miller probably the most as like a little mini stack, but not going to be a priority for me tonight.
All right, let's just stick it with you. I don't think there's going to be much interest here, but up in Minnesota, San Fran, any love for that game?
Yeah, no bats for me here. I wanted to like Cobb a little bit, but he just doesn't strike anybody out. He's just like a pitch to contact ground ball guy, just grinds out 6 innings and goes on about his day. But these Minnesota Twins are another team both of these teams are full of pinch hit risk, top to bottom. These are 2 of the top pinch hit teams in the league. So I'm not going to be going here tonight.
This is honestly one of the clearest slates in a while. I mean, you know, like it seems like it's going to really honestly build itself, 2 or 3 options as far as stacks and pitchers go, but it's really opening up for me. Title, I'm guessing you're the same here, but if you got any one option or anything like that, hit me with nothing.
No, nothing. That one. Yeah, I think this slate, usually I like pitchers, only a couple pitchers and more stacks. This slate, I think if you only have like 1, 2, 3 stacks you like, if you play 20 teams, like I know Steve does and some coordinators, I think there's more pitchers that I like than there are stacks today, which not always the case on a 10-game slate. So,
yep. Agree with that. So let's actually stick it with you. Let's talk about this Cubs game. We had the Mets switch up a little bit in the rotation. Anything that's doing for you as far as maybe some of the Cubs bats?
No, I don't really think I like this one. Wind's not doing anything. First thing I always look at in Wrigley is the wind doing anything? Is it hot? It's a fine day. It's 70 degrees in Chicago, but I like Smiley. I think playing him, Gary had some interest in him. I don't mind the Drew Smiley call as well. As far as Tyler McGill, I think he's fine, serviceable pitcher. Other teams on the slate I like more. Yeah, I don't think Wrigley wins the slate today, so I'm going to say full pass.
Yeah, the total in that game doesn't appetize me. Gary, any hidden gems in that game?
I love the Cubs here. One of my favorite stacks on the slate. Tyler McGill is not good. He's got the highest xFIP on the slate at 5.15. He's given up. He only has a 17% strikeout rate, 12% walk rate. Just not a recipe for success here. They finally moved Christopher Morel up in the lineup. The dude just keeps hitting bombs at low ownership. And I'm going to keep playing Christopher Morel. You can play him at second base. You can play him in the outfield. I like this lineup. Like I said, top to bottom. They got Tauchman in here. In the 6 hole, he's 2,100. If you need a full punt for your stack, I would not include him in anything other than the stack. I wouldn't play him as like a one-off or anything like that. Yan Gomes, $2,900 catcher, always like a cheap catcher. Saya Suzuki, like I said, I like this lineup top to bottom. McGill is not good to both sides of the plate. So, and it is kind of, Steve did say it was like warmer in Chicago right now. So it depends. Like he said, it was like 80 degrees, which if that's the case, it's pretty good hitting weather here for them here. So I like the Cubs as a 5-man stack quite a bit here tonight.
I assume it's by game time that it's going to be, it cools down pretty quickly out there. So
yeah, probably.
I mean, it's not going to be cool by any means.
I mean, the pricing on the Cubs guys are actually, it's pretty,
pretty expensive for what you.
I didn't think so.
I think it's pretty cheap. I mean, the most expensive guy is Nico Horner. You could probably leave him off, although he would be a good option on today's slate, just because second base is kind of terrible as a whole. And I think a lot of people are going to play Altuve. A lot of people are going to play Arraez.
Gary likes low pitching too, and we do have low pitching, so prices aren't. Cubs will be low owned. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, prices for me don't matter, like I said, because like Title said, because I'm going to be going down at the pitching department.
All right, so Title, we've been talking about it. Coors Field, Miami let down yesterday in Coors. Are they going to get it back today?
I mean, the thing, they're just, Gomber's cheeks. This game could be in Miami, flip it, and the totals could be 2 runs lower, and still Miami would be a good stack. I don't think Gomber's any good, but they're going to be so chalky. Whatever the lineup rolls out, like Brian De La Cruz, only 3.8K, Jorge Soler, Bertie at the top, like all these guys are going to be high owned. You can play the top 2 pitchers, play multiple Marlins. Obviously, that's cash game strategy, but GPPs, I don't even think getting like a different at pitcher as much. I think you have to get different at both your pitcher spots, like a Sonny Gray, Marco Gonzalez, or something like that if you want to play Miami side. But I don't see myself doing that. Cross off the chalkiest team in baseball. I think that's fine. As far as the other side, the Rockies, I always like going to the other side of Coors Field. I do think they are going to be pretty low owned, so I would keep them in my pool, especially on a slate I don't love too many bats. But yeah, I mean, Yuri Perez, like if this game was in Miami, if we flip-flopped it, I would definitely not be playing any Rockies bats. I'm really only doing it for the Coors Field aspect of it, and that they'll be lower owned. So they're down the list a little bit as far as stacks. I would say, though, tournaments, I do like the Rockies more than the Marlins, since I think they'll be a third, a fourth of the ownership.
So Gary, he just kind of talked about it, how the Rockies are going to be lower owned. People are going to be playing Perez. It's up there. It's a lower team in Coors. I know you talk shit, not shit, but you didn't really, we're too high on Perez. So will you be going some of these Rockies?
No, definitely no Rockies for me. I can't do it. This team is just dreadful. So definitely no on that. But I'm in on the Marlins. I know they're going to be chalky. I mean, Austin Gomber might be one of the worst pitchers in baseball. The bullpen here has fallen off over the last week or two. Jorge Soler is like the best hitter in baseball against lefties this season. Massive OPS numbers, ISO numbers, 5,400. He's going to be popular, but I think he might slide a little bit lower just due to that tag. I like him, Birdie. Brian De La Cruz, 3,800, has just been on fire. Luis Arraez has been really good this season too. I'm not going to full 5-man just because I never 5-man Coors because they will be the most popular 5-man stack on the slate. But I will have some mini stacks here, specifically with Soler, Birdie, and De La Cruz.
Boom. Spoken like a champ. Now, let's take it out to a place where a ballpark I've been to twice as much as any other ballpark I've been to. Anaheim. LA Angels versus my Red Sox. We know you guys are both high on Bello, so probably not too many Angel stacks. So let's talk to the Red Sox. Title. You like them as a stack today? You're mostly just pitchers here.
Yeah, I mean, it's a 9.5 total in LA. Both teams have a respectable team total. So we like Bello on the show, but I mean, we've seen plenty of blow-ups starts from Bello. Angels have a solid applied total. So I don't think you're crazy if you're going to any side of the game. Taylor Ward is out for the Angels again for I think this is a third straight game. So that's a nice bump to Bello. I would prefer the Boston side. Get the guaranteed ninth inning at bat. Griffin Canning, I don't know. He's a ground ball pitcher. He's not someone I love to attack, but this Red Sox team's been hitting the ball a little bit. I like their lineup top to bottom. We don't have it yet, but I mean, the top of the order is always expensive. Multiple guys above 5K. Bottom of the order always has some cheap pieces. So you could play 2 spend up pitchers, wrap around stack or something, and still play a Rafi Devers or something like that. I like the last game we'll talk about. I like one side of that game more. I like the Rocky side, I think, a little bit more when it comes to ownership. Yeah, this seems like 4 for me, Boston is. So I like Detroit more. I like the Astros more. So there's other teams that they won't crack my top 3, but I would prefer the Boston side.
Gary, how do you feel about it?
I love Boston here.
Yes.
They just got a bunch of lefties in this lineup that can create a lot of problems for this Cannon kid. Verdugo, Yoshida, Devers, Duran, they all have ISOs over 220 against right-handed pitching this season. Even Valdez in the 8-hole, he's been hitting the ball. He's got a 236 ISO. As a team, they're almost a 200 ISO on the year against right-handed pitching. And of course, Devers, he's like the cornerstone of this offense. Love this team here tonight. Probably my second favorite stack after Houston. But I'll be mixing and matching Houston with Boston and a couple other teams here tonight. But I will be overweight on this Boston team.
Boom. All right. Going out to actually, Gary, I want to stick it with you since they were kind of hurtful for you last night. Let's talk Oakland and the Mariners, who were just despicable for you.
I mean, I kept on saying it too. Like, I wrote the playbook, and I'm like, it's bad pitcher versus bad bullpen. It's the same story every day with the Athletics. It's bad pitcher and even worse bullpen. You can stack them you can stack against this team every single day. I'm not going to be full 5-man in the Mariners here, though. I'll reserve them for some mini stacks. Like I said, I'm just going to focus a lot of my attention on 3 offenses, mainly the Cubs, the Astros, and the Red Sox here tonight. And I'll just mix in mini stacks of like the Marlins, Seattle, the Braves. That's kind of how I'm approaching the slate here tonight. Jared Kelenic, it seems to be turning around. He had a bomb lefty on lefty last night. I'm pretty sure Steve Boynton called that yesterday. Placed a bet on it as well. But yeah, I'm not going to tell y'all to play or not to play in the Mariners against the Oakland Athletics. They're great plays. I just like others more here. I do like the Oakland side here too, though, for mini stacks. Brent Rooker absolutely smashes left-handed pitching so far this season. He's only 4K. Esteury Ruiz, 3,500, just a stolen base machine. Definitely like that quite a bit. Ramon Laureano's 3,100. I mean, you can get – this would be a perfect pivot, like if you wanted to – because I think the chalk title, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's going to be Strider, Cole, and Marlins.
Yep.
Is probably going to be the chalk.
Yep.
And you can go Strider, Cole, Oakland, and be instantly different. I like this team quite a bit here tonight. Marco Gonzalez's cheeks. So, yeah, I like both sides of this game, but I think I like Oakland more here.
So, Tyler, before we go to you, give us – obviously, the bunch of stuff matters, but give us your 2 favorite Seattle bats, Gary.
Kelenic, hold on, and Cal Raleigh.
Boom. All right, Tyler, you said you had some interest in this game. Which way are you leaning?
Yeah, Mariners, my second favorite stack behind the Astros. Just keep picking on the A's. Bad starting pitcher, Medina. Bad bullpen to back it up. These Mariners, you can play 1 through 5. Just keep attacking these A's. As far as the A's side against Marco Gonzalez, yeah, I think it's an interesting spot. It's one where I don't think playing Marco is the craziest idea. If you just don't love pitching, if you don't think you'll need 20-plus that pitcher today, I think Marco at 50 gets you 15, or it's definitely in the realm of possibilities. I do like picking on the A's a little bit. But, yeah, on the flip side, Marco Gonzalez is not a great pitcher. They do have some bats in that lineup. We don't have the order yet. Brent Rooker, Gary said, Jesus Aguilar, 2.5K. Don't mind that. All these guys are so cheap that you can fill in. And as Gary said, no one's going to play them. So if you want to go double spend up at pitching or try and spend up at pitching and build a Braves lineup, maybe you will have 2.4K left for 3 spots and you can fill in a 5-3 Oakland stack. So I would use them more so that. I wouldn't 5-man them. Definitely love these Mariners, though. Second favorite stack. I'll keep picking on these A's.
Boom. And what would your 2 favorite bats for the Mariners be?
Yeah, I would say Kelenic and I'll go Ty France. We don't have the lineup out yet, but I'll go Ty France, Stevie Boynton.
It just came out. Lineup just came out. Caballero's not in the lineup, which stinks. They put Wong in at second base instead.
Oh.
J.P. Crawford up top Murphy. Glad they lowered Teoscar, man. He's been struggling a bit. Yeah, Caballero. Yeah, I like these Mariners.
That time, guys. Time for the plays of the day. But first, hit that like button. I just got word. There's a number out there. Can't say what the number is, but there's a certain number of likes will be on the show. Madison will be subbing in for me one time this summer. I can't tell you what the number is, but if we hit that number, our girl Madison is gonna be subbing for me on one of the summer shows. So hey, if you want that, that's something you would be interested in. Smash the like button. Gary, you're going up first. Let's do favorite stack, favorite pitcher, and then favorite play. A little threesome action. Is that cool?
Yeah, I mean Houston's definitely my favorite stack. My favorite pitcher, you said, is probably Erod. I like Erod quite a bit here tonight. My favorite, like off the board stack, would be the Cubs. I love the Cubs here, and I think I made him my play of the day on Sunday, and I'm gonna go right back to him here with the Cubs. Christopher Morel is gonna hit another bomb tonight. He keeps the streak going.
Boom. I'm gonna go ahead and go first because I don't want to end on mine. So, tanning bed play of the day. We're stacking the Red Sox. We're playing Bello, and the play of the day is Rafi 2 Scoops. Rafael Devers, baby. Go Sox. SO play of the day title.
My favorite stack is the Astros. My favorite pitcher with ownership and per dollar, I like Brian Bello. And then my play of the day, got to go to the Astros. I'll go in the 6th hole, Jeremy Pena. 4.9K. No one's going to play him. Less than 5% owned. Jeremy Pena, the SO play of the day.
Ooh, spicy. We got any more questions in chat, guys? Let's see. The Sins for Madison campaign. You know it, Jake. All right, guys.
Yeah, Kurt's responses are definitely gold on some of those. There's no doubt about that.
Oh, me? Mommy? Oh, those are so good, man. Why did the NBA playoffs ever have to end? They have to end because we got to focus on baseball. That's why, guys. That's what we're going to do tonight when we ship. Let's go. For Gary, for me, for Title. Guys, thanks for hit that like button. Appreciate you checking us out.